Sorry?
Don't know who the HDMI for this one, do we?
Oh,
no,
yeah,
there's one in here.
should be. I do not think that has remembered any of the settings from my previous session yesterday, which would be tedious.
Oh, there's a toner on here too.
No.
Everyone's just plugging it on. Exciting when it all comes back.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, there's a lot of work to do in July, isn't there? And I think probably a week.
Yeah, well, at some point, everything that's been, put down in abundance is going to be purchased. You could ask for people where it is.
Hello.
I think if you go through the main door there, and then round into the building, it might be there's the hall at the end, or it might be one of the rooms along here.
No problem.
As far as being
So maybe, can I just do anything? Or is Paul just not? I guess that we're just seconds away, sure. Now somewhere there is an HDMI split.
Yes, here.
Oh, right.
Certainly. There you go.
Thank you. Was there an HDMI cable with that?
No, but I'm also just wanting to
Yes. Oh, there should be, yes. Ah.
What we have got as well as loads of green screens, so what we could do today is we could just pin up a bit over what's not painted.
Yes. I don't know if I should be worried that it hasn't started yet.
I've got an email.
Yes, 5 volts.
Stu made me write all over this one to say it was clear that this was the really expensive webcam.
I mean, I would have, there would be no guarantees in my eyes that Katie has put the correct webcam back in that box.
On that note, I think you were already to take this webcam
Away.
because it was 200 quid worth of
Very much. Let's definitely make sure that is a thing.
There's a part of me that thinks I should be loading, the computers and the mics and the most expensive kit, but well, it could go in the toilets, couldn't it?
Yes, it could, yeah, and probably no one would ever end up going in there, yes.
Well, because it's got the padlock on now, hasn't it? Okay, well, I'll take if you get a minute again, do you want to just stick the computer in?
Yes. Yeah, oh yeah. I will spend I've got nothing to do. I might nip to Vista. Is there a whiskey shop in Vista Village? That's going to sound like an old question.
No, it's got food, unless it's got something
new. My friend's 40th on Saturday, and I was like, "Oh, it's fine. I can order him a bottle of his favourite whiskies. It's really hard to get."
Yeah.
And of course, it was so close to it, and I failed completely to order it. Hi, Paul, and or Graham.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Sorry, yeah, I'm struggling to find the code again, so apologies for being slightly late.
No problem.
HDMI pack, but I don't think it is every enabled.
I just need to find something to put the second, third monitor.
Do you know the code for the thing? Because it's got the
5, 4, 3, 2. It says confidently.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Paul. It's Steve here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah.
Just trying to HDMI. Now I need some power. If you can find power levers, what is it?
Oh, that's a good question. No. Not in this box, but I think.
That's the creation tablet.
Right, that's it, so
No. Well, I'll find it. We've got a little
I can find that's the.
hiatus. Hi, Paul. Nice to see you. Am I still? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Don't know why I can't hear you.
It's not that one, is it?
No, it's a little DC.
Oh, it's
A little,
not.
yeah, DC adapter.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
Just
now.
hear you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Low volume, though, Paul.
Okay, let me just sort that out. Wait a minute. For some reason,
No.
it
No.
wasn't working.
I don't know. I'm getting through multiple versions audio-wise. I think of you, Giles. So I wonder whether you've got an audio on your vMix. You've got two audio feeds.
Me.
2,
Oh, I could be wrong.
1, 2, 1, 2,
No, you've only got one.
1.
Oh, that's good.
No signal.
There's just lots of reverb. Perhaps it's the place you're in.
I'm not plugging anything into this.
1,
What
2,
do we need for that one?
But that's HDMI, isn't it?
Yep.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
1, 2. Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, like I say, you're just a bit low volume. I think it's sort of okay-ish, possibly viable, but.
Is that going to have the power to do this? The answer to that is no.
Okay, do you want this one?
No, that's fine because I can take it out of the internal HDMI and go into there. And that should now have plenty of power.
You're good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's
Can
better,
be.
Paul. That's much better.
Come on, Mac. Come on.
Strange.
You really want to. Oh. That's boring, though.
1, 2.
Can I ask Giles? You are putting in an additional monitor with HDMI, but is your HDMI running from your main monitor to your second monitor, or do you take it from the desktop?
Take it from the computer if you can, Graham.
Ah,
bit on that. It's
right,
completely
okay.
mental. I'm sure I can cope with that, but we'll have a look and see what happens. Raise mirror screens. Great. So, it's gone surprisingly well. There we go.
1, 2.
It hurts me. It's so horrible.
You can hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good now.
Fantastic. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Let me just save that.
Is that a power thing? Is it that this is just not the right power?
Would have noticed where the drawing.
They're probably in this cupboard, Lucy.
No, they used to be. They've never been out.
Okay.
I'm just faffing, Paul, so whenever you're ready to do things, you just shout.
Okay, no problem at all. Just take a few things off. Well, okay, when you're ready, I can show you a few things I've done.
Yes.
I put some chairs in.
Okay. I'm here.
And,
yeah, those chairs are beautiful.
So they are they're a layer, so they actually you can walk behind them.
Oh.
When you're maybe I'll just bring you both into a.
I think my camera's been knocked, Paul, so I'd love to have a quick look at.
No problem. I've just realised I've probably got to bring you into some of these. There we go. If I just show you that one.
That's weird.
Okay. Let me just go. Just realise I haven't put you into the picture yet.
Tiny Giles.
Okay.
Oh, that's not quite. Yeah, not quite so
Slowly
tiny.
getting there.
So I would be better off with a stool on this side, wouldn't I?
Yes, if you. I think so,
Yes.
Graham. That'd be good. Something covered in green, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have this on the other side. But yeah, I can. That's better. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll do that in a minute.
There we go. Aha. Okay. Yeah. Excellent.
Graham, can you move your chair, your wheelchair to the inside?
Yes, I could.
My table's way.
Oh, I think we're table's a little bit out. I think. Do you want me to do a crossfade for you? Not at all. No, it's fine. Let's just do a. Let's get you in. Hang on, 1 second. Right, let's just put you on there. The trouble is you're keyed at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll just going to take your key off.
It's right, left and right, isn't it? Do I need to be in the same place as Graham?
Yes, you will both need it in the same place. So what I'll do though, hang on, wait there. I'm going to just get the table on there for you, so you can see what you're doing. Won't be a minute. Bear with me.
Yeah, that's fine. I know it's not easy, Paul, don't worry.
Right, that's your.
Feels like I'm in roughly the right place.
Yeah, you're almost right there, actually. Yes, almost. Just a little bit. Maybe a little twist. What do you think? A little bit of a twist. Other way.
No, away from me. Yeah.
Other way, and then slight twist clockwise. That's good. That's good. Go back a little bit. Pull it toward. That's just push it towards, away from you slightly. That's good. Oh, too much. Bit too much. Pull it towards you a little bit more. Yeah, good. Okay. If anything, it'll need to be zoomed slightly, but don't worry about it. You can't make that. You wouldn't be able to make that bit of zoom.
Yeah, I think
That looks good. That looks good. Let me just put you back onto keying, and I'll there we go. How about yours, Graham? Are you try to do you as well?
Yeah, I suspect that I might. Maybe I've knocked my table or something.
Yeah, sure. Looks like it. You just need to move your table a little bit. Push it away from you, I think, or yeah, you can see it.
This way.
I think so. Yeah, that's it. And a bit. No, I think you need to push it forward, don't you, a little bit? That's it. Keep going. That's pretty good.
Tiny bit more.
Touch more. I think that's good though. That's pretty good there, Graham.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Let me put you back onto key. Yeah, I mean your table's slightly longer at the front, but it's fine. It's as long as it matches the basic shape of it. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just. You happy? That looks pretty good. I'll bring you back to the key now. Okay, there we go.
It's not going to be the splitter, is it? I should probably.
There we
check
go.
all of this.
A little bit of a black line there. Where's that black line coming from? That's good. Yeah.
It's not the splitter.
Do you want me to see, is it the right picture there?
Well, it's got a monitor on it. I can only think it's going to be that this isn't the power. The correct power.
Okay, let me answer that.
Right, let's see another one.
You're just connecting up your monitors, are you? Perfect.
I mean, all my monitors are working. It's just one of this is flickering the wrong hertz.
I'll tell you what, Graham. I'll just put you behind the chairs for a moment. It won't be a minute. Let me just put you. See how you go behind.
Oh, so excited! I'm sat on a chair.
There you go. You've got a chair. So, Graham.
Excellent.
Now then, let me just wipe that later. Is that good? Now, which Graham behind Giles front?
Look at this. And then it sounds. So I've got a little collection of balls here. The ball pit balls, bizarrely, 3 of which are green. I don't know why that's useful. I just think it's really fun.
You see, what I can do here with these chairs, for example, if So, if Giles was to stand up and sort of walk around, so you're walking behind. There you go. I just quickly. Yeah, I was quickly going to try and do it.
That's great. Sorry, Paul. Yeah.
But then you kind of appear like you're walking behind.
Just gonna squeeze in behind you, and then I'm gonna just go and grab a drink quickly, and then I might come back and walk in front of the table.
Exactly.
You Paul. There we go.
Oh. Yeah. You are in front of the table, but you're not in front of.
Graham and the chairs.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's fine.
I can change that around. I could change it around so you're actually in front as well in that scene. So you're totally in the front. One second.
It's really cool.
But if you go around, you could go back around and sit back in the chair. Of course, that's what you could do. You could move yourself around. Let me just put you in front of in that shot there. That would be. Let me just have a look.
Oh yes, green. That's the dream.
That part of the mystery that.
I mean, maybe it is this, and it is just the birth rate that is changing us on the monitor.
I think it's that either that Claire, or she's just put the wrong cable in.
I mean, it's Claire, it could be anything. So, oh look, I'm so excited. Deal cards into non-existence.
I have got another little shot for you. I did this that you could actually go straight to the table, so I can cut. I did that whole thing where I can and then go back. I did a whole series of things where I can go. Up to here. So we can do some things like that. But yeah, you've basically got these chairs now. I can move you around those chairs, so we can have a little think about what you want to try and do with that.
No issues for it.
You just how about Graham? Did you get a screen opposite you now? Have you got a screen opposite your yourself?
Yeah, my monitor has failed to work, and I don't know why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link up my laptop. I'm going to call in on my laptop if that's all right. So there'll be additional call. Can I do that?
Yes, I can. I'll need to send you another call in for it. That's fine. But yeah. I've got another one for you.
Or you could use the one we allocated to Judith. I haven't actually got that code.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the ones allocated
to Lucy.
Should I email that to you, Graham?
Yes, please.
Yep. Okay. Bear with me then. Yeah, let me just give you this one. Which is the best one to give you? 209. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'll give you the one that I gave to Lucy originally.
A knife with chocolate.
Yeah. Okay, Lucy, sorry, yes. We'll be doing that as well.
Okay.
Can just be the wrong point. It could be right to our early.
I mean, it could also, unfortunately, just be that my laptop is sending out too many different signals.
Okay, Graham, I've sent you Lucy's code, so you can come in on that one as well.
Yep.
Or what I might do is there another HDMI module? No, there's not. Is there? There's only UGA.
Yeah, it's just that one.
There's one in here. Or is this, did you get one out already?
No.
I think there's one in here.
Yay,
Thank you, Lucy. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you come out of here. Well, once again, Paula, I am just faffing. So
No problem. No problem. Yeah, no, I'm okay. I think just waiting. I mean, I can. When you're done, I'll get started. I'm just playing around with a few things here.
This is a very beautiful monitor. Does it work? This is a very beautiful monitor. You doing it? You doing it? No signal.
Okay, that should work now. So when you go. Fade that one.
Well, it should be working.
Did you get that, Graham? I emailed you the link.
Yes, I've got that.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful.
Yes, thanks.
Hopefully your network is okay to handle a couple of connections.
Yes, it should be
We'll
good.
we'll see what's that may be the only limitation doing it that way.
Right.
Is the networking.
Yes. Curious.
Now. Now, let's think. Come on.
Did you happen to have any more green material with you, Giles, that you can cover the missing patches on the wall? No. Oh, has it? Ah, I see. It just fell down. Yeah. There's a little bit on the other side as well.
That other side as well might be slightly trickier, but I will.
Okay.
I will come up with something.
Okay.
Very irritating. Now neither of those are working.
All right. You sort your monitor out first. Don't worry.
Why am I really working?
Yeah. Very good. Okay, that looks good. That looks good, Graham. That glass, when your hand was behind it, was working quite well.
Hand was behind the
glass, and that
glass. Yeah,
yes.
that works. I found there's a dark glass
Yes.
I
Yeah.
have here that we were using in a show, and that works well.
That does work. Okay. That does work fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks good. So what I could do for you, Graham, is quickly, just whilst they're doing their green screen, you can try out the moving around the table type of thing. So
Yeah.
it's a similar sort of arrangement to I just showed you a moment ago. Let me just see how that will work. Yeah, okay, so it's this scene here. So currently if you were sitting down and you got up, and once you cleared the chair, I can then fade you behind the chair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you just want to take a seat now, sit down and then get up as though you're going to walk around the table. Or you could wonder how you could do it. You could walk in front of the table, and then when you're halfway in the middle of the table, I'll fade. Oh no, that won't work.
Yeah, I'd have to pass the other chair, wouldn't I?
Yeah, well, you'd do it either way. I mean, you could walk as soon as you've cleared the tables, stage right or stage left, and then you come back in again. I could place you behind the chairs. That's how I would do it. Do you know what I mean? So if you stand up, either you can walk to your left or to your right, but you'd have to clear the chairs, whichever's more comfortable. Either to turn round or to walk
It would be
across.
most comfortable to go clockwise.
Yep.
So I go behind my chair.
Yeah.
So if I can clear the chair.
There's a bit of green wall. Now if you start to walk in from the back as though you're walking round it, then you'd appear to be kind of like walking behind those two chairs. And you'd be walking behind. You would be. Yeah, you're currently then behind it.
Yeah, so that would work. I'm behind that works beautifully there with the. So my stool is hidden underneath this stool.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I walk round the table behind the other chair.
Yeah, that's it.
That works beautifully. And then I clear this chair.
Yeah, I could bring you back to the front again.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it would. If I fade you now, you're going to jump in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'd be in front of that chair. You could then sit on that chair, as it were. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's nice. And then you could actually stand in front of the chair, in front of the, if you go back in front of the table, so where you were just a moment ago, like that, I could then, and then when you move towards your right or left, another character would have appeared in the middle then, of course. So then all of a sudden I could put this other character in. In the meantime, whilst you're covering something up, I could fade somebody else in, you know what I mean? Just a thought. Now he suddenly appears on there.
and then I'd have to.
You could sit down again there. Yeah. You could now choose to get up and walk around him as well. If that's another thing we could do. I've put you so you're actually behind him as well.
So I could do this. Repeat the same then. So
Yeah.
That little aberration is Giles. It's not me. Is it?
Yeah, that's right. Don't worry. It's a bit of their green walls missing. So if you came back in now. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, good.
You could
Green screen. Sort of. That will be better. Very soon. Great.
Oh, that's a green stool you're behind, isn't it, Giles?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
That's all right. That's okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so now I've got Graham there.
Now, what I might try and attempt to do is, this is my stool,
Yeah.
and I'm going to, if I position this stool
On the chair, you could step onto the chair. You could step onto the chair, and I could actually bring you back into that one. Then you could just put a foot on the chair.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, ready?
Yeah, let me just change it back again. So you're behind it. If you step on it,
Yeah.
there you go. Now you're on top of it. So now you're in the foreground. That's it.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, sorry, Graham, on the phone.
No, these aren't stable enough to actually put your weight on it.
Be careful.
It's nice to think that we could do this. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, Graham, that is absolutely stunning.
Not bad, is it? Yeah.
Oh, completely. Paul, can you screenshot that? Because that is probably the best thing that's ever happened.
Yep.
I'm in front of it at the moment. I'm just wondering, Graham,
You are.
do you need a hand, Graham, getting down?
Yeah.
Or there.
My toe disappeared, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, it's a little bit of green. I think we're not quite sure whether we. I thought we lined those up.
My
But,
green.
yeah.
Green
I
screen,
mean,
don't
I'm
you?
obsessed by the idea that you might be frightened of a mouse, Graham. You know what it is, that thing of, oh, that's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Could you sit on the table, Graham? Could you
Yeah,
sit with your back to Giles? Sit on the table.
Oh,
Yeah, that's great. Perfect.
it's so good.
You could be, and you're playing cards. Maybe you're playing. If you were to play cards like that, I wonder how that would look.
Oh, because I can deal behind Graham. Oh, of course, that needs to be the layer behind.
Just pop it down to his, so you can see it with his hand. Maybe you could be concealing them under his jacket or something. Actually, I tell you what, it'd be great if you could pop it in his pocket.
Oh, just so brilliant. Love it. I can't quite see what his cards are.
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
Yeah, that's nice.
We should probably
It's quite a. Is it?
sorry, Paul.
No, I was just going to say, it connects quite well between you because you're sort of looking as though you're concealing your cards and your whole body to Giles. It works quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. When you look around as though you're just peering around, is he looking at what you're doing, kind of thing. Yeah.
Still getting used to the idea of it, of actually having the monitors to the side.
Yeah.
The ability to kind of it reverses in my head what I kind of need to look at, which is mind-blowing.
Particularly nice is that we've, in the work that we've been doing in the last couple of months, the orientation of the eye is always forward.
Yes.
And so it's quite liberating to feel that you've got the ability to self-monitor in this way.
It's nice. It's nice that sort of you got that sort of look as though anyone could be looking at your cards, Graham. It's as though you're not quite sure who can see your cards at the moment.
Naturally suspicious.
For some reason, everyone can see your cards but you.
On my skill of dealing to get the cards to disappear. Mind you, it would be. That bit of card is just fractionally the wrong colour. Do that log.
Oh, sorry. I want to do a kind of a merge.
I think that's great. Such a difficult thing to do as an actor, not to face front. That's so childish.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether I was supposed to have taken delivery of a pack of cards yet, but they haven't arrived.
No, I think they were fine, so I guess they'll be here at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, Graham, the thing we were trying yesterday, with spreading out a deck of cards and picking. Do you have even a couple of cards that you could spread down?
Yeah. I mean, these are really about their the best I can do.
So then Right, so open the edge of my fingers. Oh, you. Just wondering if I can take a card from there and then put it back in the deck, which is up.
Yeah.
That one. Lovely. Could you give us the zoomed in on the table shot, Paul, just to see if we can make this work in more detail?
Who do you want on front? Do you want Graham in the front or Giles in the front? Who wants to be in front?
Perhaps Giles, if he's laying cards down.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, where do you want me to go, Graham? Is there a good place?
Yeah, that's good.
So maybe it needs to be Graham in front, so that his hand doesn't go underneath.
Well, I could do that halfway through. I could change it at any point you want.
Oh, magic.
I think I'll have. Absolutely useless at palming the card.
So that's, I think the principle's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, these are a bit.
The cards are a bit big, aren't they? Your cards, Graham. That's.
Yeah.
But I think if they were, if you had just had the same card in your hand, concealed in your hand, and you placed it on top, you pulled it away. I think you could do it.
Yeah. I'll just reduce the size of them. Yeah, so I could.
Just the one. Just the one. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Very cool. And then, thanks, Graham. Take it away. Put it on a card sharpening. And then I don't, when we talked about dealing the other day, I don't know how we were thinking about doing this, because I can deal cards to under a piece of paper. So mine will at least disappear.
That was nice, just then. That you actually dealt him just as the card was moving, you almost put your hand on it and it took it away. That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you throw it, Graham needs to reach in and just grab it. That's it, almost there. It's almost...
Yeah.
Because it's so quick, you can do it quite... Yeah. Very quick movements, I think, work better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So you could throw him a card and he picks up a card. And it,
Yeah. Yeah. You've got an illusion there.
yeah. I tell you what, maybe you don't even need the cards, Graham. Maybe it's just as they disappear into the tablecloth. So as Giles throws them into the tablecloth, your hand almost just needs to pretend to wipe it towards you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was wondering that actually, whether it would be easier for me to cue it from Graham putting his hand down, kind of like ready.
Yes, yeah. So you're almost timing it just together. Yeah, that's it. That was nice.
Come on to my card dealing incompetence. Right. So.
Yeah, that's it. If you had them in your hand and you just sort of picking them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It looks convincing. Potentially, it could be there. I think.
so lovely. Play a card game. Remotely. It's so cool.
I think the speed really helps.
Yeah.
The faster it is, like because you're never going to get it absolutely perfect, but it really sells it with some good speed and all of that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a humour to it, as well like that.
Yeah, it's quite self-conscious of its artifice in a way, isn't it? Or the illusion. Nice thing.
Yes, like cars that were started. That's easier. A different mechanism for hiding the cards, because that is tricky to deal with under a piece of paper.
Do you remember that game, like children's game with the palms?
Oh,
What
yeah.
was that, patter cake or something? If I put my hand on your, this requires dexterity on your part, Paul.
Yeah.
Keep switching the layers.
Exactly.
So if we had a marker on the table, Giles, like a kind of, so suppose it was the centre point.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So and then we switch to Giles.
Right, as it were.
Yeah, was it your left hand, your right hand, isn't it? You keep going on top of each other.
Yeah.
But then I think the difficulty with that is that I'll never be able to be.
And then what you do is you pull out the bottom one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah. So if I put mine down, Giles put your right hand or whatever. That's it. Yeah. Then I put my left.
You'd have to pull out your other hand before you put your hand on top, Graham.
Yes, of course.
Pull out the hand underneath, and then put the hand on top.
Yes. Yeah.
So then yeah. Sorry, it's your go, Graham. Oh no. I'll try and put one. I think it's quite fun.
There's something quite mesmerising about it in a way, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, you've nailed it now. Oh, yes.
Oh, very good. Wow, yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. With a mark on the table to hit.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you move your hand. Oh, sorry. As long as you move your hand first, I know when to cut.
Yeah.
That's all. You move your hand away.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So the minute you move your hand away, Graham, I then cut. So the next hand that comes on top will come on top.
It's great.
Now, what if this was a pile of money?
Well, the difficulty with that, Graham, is that because it's on top of my layer, like if we put
Yes.
both put our hands on it, my hand will either be over it or underneath it.
Yes.
Yeah, I could make a virtual layer though. I could put a virtual pile of money.
Oh. Honestly, yeah, that is
So
me.
I haven't quickly got a virtual pile of money to hand. Sadly not.
I mean,
Where's all that arts and humanities grant gone?
You could just temporarily use anything, like even the virtual wine bottle, just as a
Yeah.
Sure.
Or maybe I could perhaps just bear with me. Let's see what I can do. It might take about 5 minutes. You could keep.
I do actually have a pile of old notes, if that's useful. But somewhere, I'm just trying to find them. Like you do, obviously. Where's that? Where is that? Sorry, famous last words.
This might work. It'll take a few minutes to do it. Nice. Getting serious now.
Yeah, we're going to up the stakes, Giles, okay?
Yeah, no problem, but that is all right.
10,000 liras.
That's brilliant, yeah.
10,000 liras.
Yeah.
Or actually, I've got Steve will like this one. It's $2 Singapore.
Oh, brilliant. I have one here. Wow, fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, Brenda, if we were playing
Here's
blackjack,
mine. I'm not in.
blackjack is probably the fewest cards dealt, isn't it? Which is the hard bit.
$200 Hong Kong dollars. Oh, 100 Bosnian.
Lev, is it? No, that's
Bosnian. Oh, what is it? Forget what it is. Oh. Anyway.
Okay, I've got a rather large pile of cash. Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
Try and make that a little bit. All right, let me just take that off for a minute. Try and make that smaller. Bring it into here. Ah, here we go.
Ah! Oh, look at that.
A bit bigger?
I would go just a little bit smaller, actually. Yeah, somewhere there. Hang on, it's there. It's a magic pile of money. Oh,
Let me just.
look at that.
2, 4.
I find you can have it, Graham.
Yeah.
That looked nice when you moved it, Paul, as Giles' hand was there. If you know what the direction is and you hurt it, that would work.
Yeah,
You know, taking it from his side of the table to the centre.
Yeah.
You know, if you just follow the straight line to the centre, you put it to Giles' side of the table. Yeah, okay. Bit further. And then Giles, if you just put your hand over it, Graham, if you leave your hands out for the moment, Graham. Now just push it to the centre. But Paul needs to, you see what I mean? Yeah. Push to the centre. Yeah. Try again, push it back, bring it to you. I mean, you probably just need a verbal cue. Look at this, or here you are, and then you both move at the same time.
Yeah. So if we did something like this money's mine, or okay, I'm all in.
I'm doing that completely manually within. It's not a preset, so it's a little. I think you can set it so I could do it so it moves. I could do it. I think I could do it. Yes, so I could put one of them that side. 24. Make that 0. 1 second. Yeah. 1 sec. Okay. I think I
this
could
is
do that. And then I could do. Is that right? Oh, hang on, that's too big. Yeah, and then it have to come. I think something like that.
Oh, look at that.
I could do it slightly slower, I think.
Yeah,
this is very nice. It's also making me think that if we did pursue the mouse idea, then the mouse has a life of its own, of course, which is quite nice. So so that we could. So there's a nice little sequence potentially here with the money, and which is very controlled, and then we have this kind of this business. But then potentially there is also an object that moves freely, and that there's a kind of game involved, so that we're kind of almost trying to chase the mouse with a hammer.
Oh, right. Yeah, beautiful.
And then I end up on the chair.
Lovely. And I wonder if, I don't know how it would work. I wonder if when you're on the chair, whether I can walk up, stand behind you and help you off the chair. I don't know. That's
Or give me some jip for being.
I like the idea of the mouse. I could certainly do the mouse moving around. So the mouse is just literally going from place to place, and you're just constantly trying to sort of. It's a bit like whack-a-mole, isn't it? Sort of like coming up, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this is really nice. Do you want to try the kind of patter cake thing with the?
But do you want to have the cards in a fixed position, the money in one place, or are you going to be moving it, trying to sort of drag it across? Maybe you could just try and grab it. Now I've done that. So that's it with So Giles has his hand over the money now. Okay, so let me yeah. How would that work? That's right. Yeah. So Giles has got his hand on the money. So if you take your hand off the money, and then Graham grabs the money. Sorry, Graham grabs the money and pulls it back.
Oh. And then can I put my hand over the top of
Yeah,
Graham?
yeah, and then Graham pulls his hand away. If Graham is distracted for a minute and pulls his hand away, then you pull it back. Do you know, I can't.
Yes.
You'd have to take your hand. So you're kind of what it is. You're kind of holding on to your money, Giles, there, and then all of a sudden you take your mind off it and lift your hand up. And the minute you lift your hand up, Graham grabs it.
Nice. And then
Graham does the same thing. You have to lift his hand up first.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering whether sort of dramatically, if we've been playing cards, I've won this heap of money, Graham gets cross and pulls it across to him.
Yeah.
Whether actually the next move could be me putting my hand on it and we come back to centre.
Yeah.
And then we do the kind of patter cake bit.
Yeah.
A kind of story thing, a narrative thing. I think I'm still going to cut to justify taking hands off the money with. We actually have a Hulu.
So that would be.
Really weird. I'll just use this for that.
So in that case, the cash would be somewhere in the middle. So I've got a kind of situation where we could grab it. It could go to middle.
Oh yeah.
And then you can do your kind of like mine thing. If I just need to put another scene in there.
Struggle. It's the Venus delay is confusing.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's let me just do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's very difficult to be able to. I was just thinking that if we work this to a piece of music, we could have certain kind of key, but of course we can. We don't necessarily hear it at the same time, do we?
Just pop your hand in front again. Just pop your hand in front again. Whose hands on? Just put both hands on the money. Okay, bear with me. Just keep your hands there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better. Right, that's better. So that's a case of. Yeah. Okay. So then you're doing the kind of the my money thing. But as long as you take one hand away, as long as you're both hands are there, as long as there's a moment where there's no hand there, I can do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Then.
Oh, sorry, I'm wrong way around. Okay, I'll start again. So
remove and place.
Yep. And then Giles is the same. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Too slow.
Now, I kind of feel like we should have you haven't got a fake pistol, me, Graham.
No, but there's the knife idea, isn't there?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wonder whether there's that kind of a kind of threat thing.
Could I do that on your hand?
Yeah.
That would be good. Yeah, imagine that. If I ready, so I put my just locate your fingers. Right. Okay. Oh, hang on.
Yeah. That's the gag, isn't it? You actually hit him at the end. So you go around the fingers and hit him right in the middle of the hand and each react.
And if what would be great is if I start really slowly. So
yeah. Great. Does it help if I do? I don't know. What's an easier angle for you to be able to see? Is that better?
Just working this out. If we knew if we had a common position, then I could predestine. We could have like some tiny little dots. You could almost
just needs a little bit of green lecky tape, doesn't it?
You could almost draw a line around his hand on a piece of paper or something as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I could.
I don't know.
If I were to do this now, Giles, and we were to hit so I can put a piece of paper down, I can tape some paper down, and then, so I know where your fingers are.
Sorry, Graham, let me just do that the same. Let me just do it for me as well.
Yeah. I need some green electric tape now.
Yeah. Okay. So I just need to get my hand in that hand shape each time.
Yeah. Could you do that again, Giles? And then I'll just fix where I'm going.
Of course, you can't see my drawing.
So there. Ah, right. Okay. Sorry. Wee, freaky.
Yeah, I was going to say good luck, Graham. Yeah. I'm just trying to work out if there's a way to make this easy.
I need to come further down, don't I? Yeah, I need to come further down. So, there.
Well, I can move my hand, Graham. Like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be here.
It's your left hand or right hand?
My left hand.
Yeah.
It's quite nice watching this, just the two of you at the main table, actually. Just out of interest, I just want to just show you there. Just to throw you completely. But I think you're starting to look at each other, which is quite nice. Sorry, shall I go back to that again?
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry.
See, if I know where your hand is, then.
Have I lost sound? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Really fun.
You good? Could you hear Graham as well? Sorry, was I cutting off all the audio there?
I had something. I think I might still have Graham.
Okay.
Yeah,
just me.
No, stand as like a more comfortable position. You might be able to drawing that.
Right. Okay.
Can you just swap the layers so that Graham's on top?
Swap you round?
Yeah, just so Graham's on top. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's which one are you on? This way? No, not that way.
Yeah,
this way.
So Graham should be. Well, you just bung your hand here.
Oh, sorry, Graham needs to be on top, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Is Graham on top? No.
Just
At the moment, no.
Now you are. Is that money in the way now? Tell you what, I'll do this one. This one work. No, this one will work. This one will work.
2, almost. 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. 4.
That's amazing, Graham. Yeah.
5. Okay. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and then you've got to react. Yeah.
If you had a nice bit of green sort of plasticine, you could stick the knife into it, and it would sort of look like it's sticking straight into Giles's hand.
Yeah. The green Play-Doh.
Yeah. Anyone got a bit of green Play-Doh hanging around? That could work quite nicely. If it was a knife, it would work very well. Is it back in the same place now, Giles? Is your hand exactly in the same place?
I just, of course, didn't realise that.
Let me just try and do the keying.
Graham, can you just go back to where you think one of your stabs is? Just because I think this piece of paper's moved fractionally.
Okay, this is between your thumb, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yep.
That looks good.
And then the next is there.
Yeah.
Next is there.
Yeah.
Next is there.
Oh, you're a bit off on that. Slightly on that. Yeah. Those last two are slightly to the left of them, probably, but.
Yeah, perhaps I need to come a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit
out.
there. Yeah. That's it.
It's got more space. Yeah.
That's good though. Have you marked the point on the table? Have you on the piece of paper?
I've got a piece of paper.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it needs to be further back here. You've got an enormous hand, Giles.
Sorry.
You could look.
That's it, isn't it?
I could zoom to a kind of a terrified shot of Giles in all of that, so you could quickly just whilst you're doing it, you'd be a sort of a
Yeah, if I could find some green plasticine, that would be terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then quickly to Graham looking menacing.
You can pull a knife out.
Meanwhile, Giles is in agony. Yeah.
Blood on the hand for when Graham pulls the knife out.
No, I can't remember which one I was on before now. Back to here. Great. Okay. That's nice. Something to think about. It's good. I like it. So you've got money on the table. You've got, but not in the largest shot. Let's go back to here, maybe.
Yeah. Money. I was really intrigued about this idea of the limits of the table as well. I don't know whether there's anything in this, but the fact that and this could be a symptom of our inebriation or something, but the table.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. You could roll a glass. You could roll a glass to Giles across the table.
I mean, if we had identical glass, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably could catch it. Well, I say, the fake catch, as it were.
If we had an apple or something, or something that we. Have you got an apple?
You had some balls earlier on. You brought some coloured balls in, I think.
Oh yeah, I've got some coloured balls. Yeah.
I've got some like ping pong balls, coloured ping pong balls. Have you got anything like that?
They're slightly bigger than that, but they might be. What colours have you got, Graham?
I think I've got any colour you like.
What's going to be best for you, Paul? Like something like red?
Yeah. Give it a go.
What kind of chroma key do you need? Blue? More orange? Blue and orange might be. So green. Colour spectrum.
Oh yeah, they work. Colour-wise, they work well. The blue and the yellow ones work very well. I mean, it's interestingly, this table is becoming a sort of a surface for all sorts of just obscure games. There's an Steve will know it, but there's quite a famous artwork by an artist called Roy Ascott who just did a whole piece with a table and very strange objects that were just on it, and he invited the gallery audience in to just come and make some logical sense of it in very sort of in any way they wanted, and they were sort of like playing with just like a funnel and just different kind of household objects were just laying on this table, and they created a kind of a system out of just people playing with it. It's almost echoing that. Do you know what I mean, Steve? You know the piece?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's quite interesting. Yeah. Just sort of playing with just bringing these objects in to sort of create this dialogue with.
I liked flipping a coin, Graham. That was great.
The what? Sorry.
I thought you were flipping a coin, but maybe that's one of the ping pong balls. But yeah, I think it's quite interesting, isn't it, Paul, what you're saying? Like this idea that maybe it's just a series of games of chance.
Yeah.
That's based on winning a pile of money.
Yeah. But you're kind of playing with just different objects. You're just having this strange conversation with just things that happen to be in your pocket. Just suddenly turning up with an apple or a ball and. Just to kind of, what is that? What have you done with that? What kind of object is that? Okay, I've got something else. I've got something else. If you've got an apple, I've got a pear, or I've got something else, a pineapple. To hell with your apple. It's that sort of almost playing just with different objects you're going to just present on the table to each other.
I raise you.
I raise you one pineapple.
Yeah.
I bring you a frozen chicken.
And with the bright blue colours and so on. The visually look really nice as well.
They do. Yeah, it could be I raise you a bag of frozen peas.
That's what's confusing, is that if you roll it towards me, in my brain, that communicates to here. That's not. You know what I mean? Like if I roll this towards
yeah.
It feels like I should be catching it here.
No, I think that's right though. It does look from here. It looks right. It looks like it's completely rolling across the table to each of you. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, we're starting to lose by doing that. You're starting to lose contact with whose ball is whose.
Yeah.
I bet you might get a bit confused yourself. Is that which one is yours?
Just the layers, that's the worry. I need to be able to keep it. Graham, that's lovely.
That's so freaky, isn't it?
Beautiful little bit of levitation.
So now let's watch what happens here.
Yeah.
If I can, the closer I can get to the camera, the smaller the ball gets.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Just stay there a second, Graham.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's very nice.
That's great, and what's also nice is the relative scale, because even though you were the same size before, now because Graham's close to camera, it's a really, really interesting perspective, and the relative sizes work great. Seems like you're kind of miles apart. There's something really, really strong about it.
Yeah.
It's that's for me that this is a really exciting shot. This ability to have like genuine perspective and me to be able to talk to Graham that's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's just something that we've never been able to achieve in digital theatre. Like this kind of feeling of
the sense of depth.
Yeah, absolute depth is exactly it.
Yeah.
That's really fun. And
very curious, isn't it?
The depth that sort of we can monitor, because I've got a fixed point here that I know is you, like, if you know what I mean. So I can work out where to look at you based on the table, rather than having to deal with the monitors all the time. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's more kind of play with kind of up and down stage, isn't there, here? With you coming up really close up to camera, and then Giles just remaining in the background there. I can. Yeah. And the fact that it is a virtual object, but it's actually an object that Giles has placed there.
Yeah,
makes it all the more interesting that suddenly it becomes something you can pick up.
This is really interesting because it's playing on your. Well, it's obviously it's playing on your perception, but I keep being drawn to those pioneer French filmmakers and about how they love the trickery of film.
Yeah.
But what we can do here is we can do something totally different to kind of in a equally kind of exploratory way, but with depth that was never previously achievable.
Yeah.
In that form.
Really cool.
Yes. Yeah, no, it has a sense of the Méliès, the kind of rocket to the moon trip, all that sort of stuff.
Right. You just put your hands back where they were, like for when you were holding the ball, just wondering whether I can.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
That's fantastic.
That's really
lovely.
lovely.
The bounce, great.
Yeah. How close can I get, Giles?
Just need to work out where I need to drop it. That's
I need to.
Move your hands in a bit.
Away from
Yeah.
The illusion is much better when.
Yeah.
That's really fun, and then I can take it back out of your hand. Put it back if I need to.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
That's lovely.
Really
That's lovely.
I don't know why I'm looking at that monitor. Why am I looking at this monitor? Oh.
That's so satisfying.
I wonder, can I do enough of this? No, because it's going to roll too much.
Yeah. Oh. There you go. You could follow it if it rolls. Of course, that's it.
Yeah.
Just try and hold it in your hand. As though the movement is actually your hand moving,
Yeah.
I know it's delay. It's the delay that's hard, isn't it?
The delay that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. You can't anticipate where it's going to go either, so it's just almost impossible.
I mean, actually, if I had any kind of clear I had a table over there, if I had like, this probably won't, it's probably too dirty to kind of green screen. Yeah, it is. But if I'm not actually that good a throw. Come on! Well, actually, just do.
Oh, yeah.
And then, oh, come on. Move in the air. Right. Fine. Glass doesn't work. Don't use a glass. But like a glass bowl might work. You know what I mean? Just so that it's never going to, like, so that I could actually.
Yeah.
And it would land in Graham's hands.
But I like this whole thing with you moving this sort of using the space. So with Graham coming up very close up to camera. That's the whole thing. It just works very nicely with it. That you're playing with that sort of sense of, you're breaking that sudden sense of depth is exposed.
Yeah.
Oh, so lovely, yeah. And then it's like this, I quite like the feeling of being able to kind of go over the top of Graham's hand. As if like suddenly I've become tiny.
I mean, could you do a similar thing where in fact Graham catches the ball and then returns to the table, sort of still holding the ball, or becoming smaller, just becoming smaller, if you like.
That'd be really cool.
And then Giles would do the same thing. He would then put his hands out to catch the ball, and he could move forward as well. Do you know what I mean? Almost like a kind of switching between the two. So there's a sort of a game going on.
Yeah, because I've got a smaller ball, so the ball that I can present at the table has reduced in size bizarrely.
Okay, yeah.
Paul, I wonder if there's also a thing, Graham, I don't know how you do this, but like if I've got the ball, I'm just going to temporarily put the ball in your hands.
Yeah.
Like Paul, if you were able, like Graham, if you closed your hand, and at the point you closed it, Paul cut this. So that you were on
I can do that.
Then actually you can close your hand on that ball.
Yeah, try it and see. Either it's fading or it's cutting. Probably cut would be better. It might be a cut's better. Try it again. I'll cut.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Again, I think the speed might do us better.
Yeah. The quicker you are, the quicker I can cut it.
Okay.
But then, Graham, I wonder if you could, like, if you could do a kind of palming thing of bringing out either your different size ball that you can throw to me, or a different colour. Do you know what I mean? That's like, because obviously it's that switch, isn't it? That's to a different physical object.
Yes, and is there any way that you can, with your green material, you could conceal the ball once it's disappeared behind?
And then I should be able to do that, yes. He says confidently.
So, So I have it in my palm.
So if you've got the ball there, and we do...
I close my...
Yeah, don't do it until I cut, though.
Yeah.
So if you move your hand out of the way, Giles, just until I cut. So when you suddenly clasp it and I'll cut. Oh, that's a bit slow, sorry. And then it'll be... Let's try
the delay is difficult, it makes it difficult. So I have it in my hand.
Sorry, I'm just trying. Okay. Oh.
I need to give you a signal, Paul. Almost.
Yeah, almost.
So I'll go 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, hang on. Didn't have it on the right button. Okay.
It may be, Graham, just the timing of it, rather than going too quick. It's just like let it take like a second. So it's and 1, and one. You know, so that your hand closes in the space of and one. If you just go, you know,
Yeah.
and one, and then you'll feel it. Then Paul will feel it. And one. Yeah. Sorry. So, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, it would need
It's
to
almost like
be it's going to be hearing you on like a 1.5 second delay. So I think the cue would have to, come from Graham.
Yeah. So it's like.
One. That's it.
Yeah.
That was good.
Perfect.
I've done that, and you can take your hands away, and that ball's gone. And then in your hand, essentially, if you've got one from your pocket, there is another ball that you've put in that then I can pick up. You made it look tremendously easy, right? And I have not. that I can then pick up and carry towards the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
That's it. I think it's actually easier when you present the ball, you drop it into Giles's hand rather than Giles carry it. So you hold.
Yeah.
So Graham's still holding onto the ball, and Graham's got his hand is now looking at it. Is it something he can then grab hold of? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Man, I wonder if I'm clever enough. No, I'm not. God, it's so hard working in that linear movement there. Come back to the table and drop it down again.
It was nice. It worked. It works. I mean, I think the bit where Graham covered it, we had that. I think just that timing issue. It's a case of feeling that, as Steve was saying, you've got to get into the kind of rhythm. So we're gonna. I can cover it. You can.
Yeah. That kind of that feeling of, and I've got the ball. What I'm gonna do. It's that kind of a classic thing of, you know what I mean, Graham? It's the old I'm working in rec theatre and I'm going to answer the telephone movement, isn't it? Of that kind of, I'm going to give the stage manager a nice big cue.
Yeah.
Deep breath and go. Yeah, that's fun. Playing with multiple physical objects in multiple.
I think that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a bowl of fruit. A bowl of fruit between you could be quite interesting. You know, if you had a bowl of fruit, there could be different objects, different bits of fruit belong to each of you.
I mean, I don't know if this would. I don't know how we would do this. But I wonder theoretically. I'm slightly scared to try this because of all the electricals. But I wonder theoretically, if I was stood here with a jug of water.
Yes.
I can't actually see that jug because it's glass. If I was stood here with a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Whether I might be able to, bizarrely, to pour that into Graham's glass. Because I would just be pouring out of shot. Like, I would be pouring into a, for instance, bucket off camera.
Yeah.
But actually, perspective might look like if I was pouring it into Graham's glass.
Yeah, I could cut the bottom off so it disappears. You know, so I could mask it, so it would appear to be falling into the glass.
It up a little bit so we can't see where the wine is. Something that's going to read as a bottle. Bottle. There we go.
It's fine. My glass is disappearing here, sadly, but
the tricky thing I was thinking is like anything glass or green glass is really awkward. But I might be able to, if I had a bucket, I might be able to actually pour Graham a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
And then
like a
cheers.
weird thing. Yeah.
Santé,
Cheers.
santé.
That way.
Encore, monsieur, encore.
Pas de problème. I need to get actually pour water because this is more of the carbonite. But yeah, I think that might be an interesting thing.
Santé.
I don't know, maybe we tried the other way, didn't we? With just be hiding a receptacle behind some green paper again. That's another way of doing the pour.
Mm-hmm.
I can make that go away. But also bit into that glass. No.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, probably the water will disappear, won't it? Yeah, you can't see the liquid. It's a shame.
Sound was good though. The sound really helped.
But I could get some, I don't know, like some, I'm not even sure that red wine will show. It might be something really strongly coloured.
Yeah, it probably does.
Or something.
Well, of course, absinthe would be the best, wouldn't it?
Absinthe would be the best.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You got a bottle of that hanging around there? I like the collection of objects just appearing on the table here. I mean, I do think it's kind of strange that it has that the table in itself, because there are objects on there, they all retain to this kind of perspective view. All the different things you put on all have a logic to them somehow. They're sort of leftover bits and pieces. They're just like the red bottle totally fits with the rest of those things on there, just from the point of view of its positioning.
Yeah, and because it's a physical thing, I know where I know where to get it. That's what's so satisfying. It's like that feeling of I can point to it and know where I'm pointing at.
I just wonder what this big bowl in the middle might look like. If there's some kind of big bowl of objects that you're kind of playing around with, just putting things in and out of. Between you're kind of some are in they're in different locations. The two things. If the bowls were the same, identical bowls, but then there were a number of objects you were putting in them, they'd all sort of mix together.
That's lovely. Yeah, I mean this isn't the right thing, but it's green.
It's a green. Everything we've got is green now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But it had a big orange bowl or something like that. It looked really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might do as that.
Yeah, I've got something downstairs that might do the job. I'll go and
have a look. Okay, great.
Right, what need to do?
Yeah, see the nice colourful things, just these objects. What do you think, Steve? You think there's something?
Yeah, no, I think I love all the coloured objects. Great. Yeah.
And they because you can then start to share things. It's just kind of interesting how you can, you could drop an apple into somebody else's bowl or something,
Yeah.
And I can.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Paul, I've got to go.
No worries, Steve.
I'm afraid.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Well done. It's looking great. God, this is magical. Fantastic stuff. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay. See you, Steve.
See you.
That's really interesting. I mean, I think it's like I don't know, for me, Paul, I don't know what you feel like, but it feels like we should be kind of, I don't know what you think as well, Graham, but it's almost like whatever we do structurally, we're kind of growing in scale as we get through the course of it. So I think it's lovely, this kind of idea of doing really small things, and then
Yes.
making what we're achieving more
Yeah,
and more difficult, right? To the point at which potentially Graham stood on the table, whatever. That feels like a lovely kind of culmination of.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel.
We could almost walk together. We could do a couple of laps of the table, and then end up with Graham like on it. And I think that feels like an amazing opportunity.
The kind of reference I keep coming back to is like the magic trick in a way, or the kind of illusionist, where you have to lure people into. Everybody's learning the language,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
have to do the really simple things first, and really spend a lot of time working on the simple things for bigger, for there to be a currency about the bigger impact. So even exploring the table, the very simplest things about exploring the margins of the table, because for a viewer, I think there is we acknowledge that there is an illusion happening.
Yeah.
So it's about where does the illusion, the liminal space of that illusion, where does it actually fall apart? And that feels to me really interesting territory.
And I think, Graham, that do you think as well? I know we've before, but for me, there's also a point, a reveal point for the audience that we need to find, where they understand that we're not in the same room.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There has to be a point at which we can physically demonstrate, and it might play against the reality of the space, but that we can reveal to people why what we're doing is clever, if you know what I mean. Even if that's just the two of us like walking through each other.
Yes, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, quite often it reveals when, of course, you're both sitting in the same place, or somehow you're both overlapping each other completely somehow, or something has gone a completely. It's impossible to be both doing exactly the same thing, duplicating each other's position and space is a kind of almost impossibility.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
These things at the top of the table are looking great. I like these little bottles. They're looking like looks a bit like a greasy spoon now. Looks like a bottle of ketchup or something, and some salt vinegar or something there.
That's fun, yeah.
It just changes its sort of scene just by the different objects that appear on the table.
Yeah.
From what was a kind of gambling kind of money being fought over to some bottles of things. That's great. Yeah.
Well, this is interesting.
Silver, of course, reflects the green.
Yeah.
Well, like a big blue bowl, don't we?
Yeah. I don't know. I noticed the time now. It's just 10 to 12, and so we said we do to a couple of hours. I know it goes in no time. And what I mean, I don't know if Lucy's there as well, but
She's not, she's had to go, unfortunately.
Okay. Because I think we were going to try and do something with it. The intention was to do a couple more sessions next week, but they were going to be evening sessions. And to invite somebody, I think there was an intention to invite an audience member in. I don't know if that's something we still want to explore, or how you might try and think we could try and do that. I mean, I'm happy for these experiments just to play out as they are, and I think there's a lot of material here already.
Well, I think. I was thinking about this earlier, and I was wondering whether an audience member is less helpful than having someone who is relatively experienced in digital theatre, but unaware of what we've been doing, just to tell us what, from an audience point of view, they think is interesting. If you know what I mean. Over the course of next week, rather than necessarily a kind of narrative structure, if we came up with a series of experiments, and then I don't know, someone like Andy or Dharmesh or anybody really, but that's done some digital theatre that kind of knows what is and isn't possible. If we just said to them, right, we're going to do a series of things, can you tell us what you think of it? Do you know what I mean? Like the kind of experimental piece.
Yeah, and I think from our point of view, it might be interesting to just string together. We could almost do an improvisation, couldn't we? We could do an extended kind of improvisation with a series of kind of interventions, as it were.
Yeah.
Like a series of 6 little etudes, for want of a better word. In which, so we've roughly sequenced a kind of what we want to achieve with each one, but then kind of string them together, and invite a few people to feedback on that and to discuss. But how, from your point of view, Paul, do you want to get? There are certain outcomes that you need from your perspective.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of material from the point of view of research. The sort of things, the conversations we're having, the things we're exploring. There's a lot of material there. It would be lovely if we could get a little bit of a kind of some of those experiments explored in a way that you could do a little 20-minute improvisation piece. So there's no one talking as such. There's no dialogue. There's no sort of try this out, try that out. We're literally just doing things, and you're going along with it. So we're literally going to, but to do that, I may have a series of scenes you might like me to take you through that will help you. So I'm not sort of saying, so you're not suddenly thinking, oh, we need this other scene, this isn't the right bit, or do you know what I mean? There's some kind of little bit of a flow. So you might sort of just have a general, could be 6 scenes, it could be just 6 different scenes that we've played around with the passing the ball, with the money, with the things. And I could just prepare those, and then you just do it. I don't say anything. I say, I'll give you 5 minutes on this, 5 minutes on this, 5 minutes on this, and we'll just move along. There was one thought initially, I think, in conversations I had with Giles and Lucy, was about whether that third character is a kind of another person we want to bring in at the head of the table. So this is actually a live person that we could literally just key into the back here. They wouldn't have much opportunity to put their hands on the table, because they won't have a table. They won't be prepared that well. They'll be prepared literally as if they're an audience member with a green screen background. So
just sat down in front of
and I would then.
Actually,
no, it's just basically it's a head and shoulders shot. We just stick them at the head of the table and see what they want to do.
Yep.
I mean, I think for me, it would be really exciting to explore that, like playing with a third person who's not part of it.
Yeah.
Like just the idea of whether I could go and stand behind them and give them a massage.
Yes, or just sort of whisper things in their ear, or just sort of they're just there. They're just kind of like a little bit like the character is in many ways.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun. Maybe that's one of the 6. Paul.
I would say so, and maybe that's an extension of, if we do introduce that third character, the Cézanne character. That's one level, that one stage in that scene, isn't it? In a way, we introduce a kind of third person. How do we both respond to that classic kind of narrative trope of the interloper, and then an extension of that is that we introduce an audience member in that position. A quick question though, Paul, is it if it's a head and shoulders, that's one thing. Is there any way of doing a cutout on that person's face and introducing them to this character? Is that more complicated?
Only if they were in a green screen suit, I think.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think I could map them onto it somehow. If their face, I could cut out this face.
Yeah, I see.
And just let. They literally could just put their head into that face behind it. So that's actually a mat, and the face is actually cut out, so their face could appear in it. That could be quite nice. So just literally their face, not even the rest of their body. So just their facial expressions could be in this character.
Yeah, that is fun.
Could try that. That'd be great fun. I'd like to try that.
It'd be worth exploring, wouldn't it? I think.
Yeah. So if we were doing potentially,
they wouldn't. Do you know what? They wouldn't even need a green screen to do that.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Whether there's an easier way of being able to mask or cut out without them.
They stay relatively still, don't they?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be for every scene. It could just be for a few of them, or it could be a number of different people could appear in it from time to time. I mean, that's an interesting thing that the audience could, or this other person could just turn up in this space occasionally.
At any point.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So the game would be in a way that they have to negotiate. They have to decide, make a decision about how they navigate or negotiate that offer. Which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a lot of fun. I mean, you don't want it to become a comedy necessarily.
No.
But there's something quite fun about actually an audience facial reaction, possibly even vocal, in a body that they can't control. Do you know what I mean? So if there's that kind of thing, and you're going to pick that card up, and actually they can't. There's a kind of management of a situation. Oh, you can't pass that bottle. That I think might be quite interesting.
And their reaction, in a way, is what feeds our response. Perhaps it's about us, as you say, like massaging or very gently reassuring them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose there's also that, as you say, Graham, it's that kind of thing. If they're happy to play along and they're engaged with it, sort of dramatically, it can become a much more interesting scene. But similarly, there's that feeling that if they're not comfortable with it, then there's a different way of experiencing that, like for us and for them.
Yeah.
That it's then incumbent on us to respond accordingly and navigate that. But it's worth trying, isn't it? It'd be a really interesting experiment.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, that works. And we could try it with Steve, perhaps,
Yeah. Bring somebody else up. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, or Lucy, absolutely. And yeah, that's fun.
Let me try and bring them in. Yeah, okay.
At the very last thing, we've got the potential of like dealing/playing cards.
Yeah.
That's a possible one. We've got
wine. We've got pouring of wine. I think we've got something in that.
Yeah, definitely pouring.
And me never actually getting to drink the wine.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, nothing in glass. Yeah, that's fun.
I think right at the top there is the approach, appearance, and seating, and all that goes with that. I think there's loads of potential material in that. So the appearance in the space, how you navigate a chair.
And actually putting your hand on the edge of the table. What we. I mean, I think that is there a fun thing of like we both come in and actually like, no, I don't mind this seat, can we swap?
Yeah, swap chairs. Yeah, potentially.
I mean, I really like the bit where you sat on the table, Graham, as well. Just that sort of sitting with your back to Giles, and sitting on the table, and just sort of like, breaking the convention of just sort of sitting at the table. Those sorts of things were fun.
So there's a section, I think, quite a long section potentially, which is just navigating the space. Do you think, Graham?
Yeah.
Which is that thing of kind of entering the space, playing with the table, walking round the table, swapping chairs, standing on a chair, sitting on a table. Like me putting my feet up on the table, whatever. There's that You know what I mean? There's that, I think, is quite a big section. And then
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
I think, for me, I think there's like a prop section, which is potentially pouring wine, dealing cards, maybe that money pass moment and the pat a cake game, which potentially ends with the what we were playing with about playing with the ball and perspective and depth.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of material there. I would say, yeah, we could split those up into three different.
I've just got a
Well,
freeze. I've got a freeze frame of Steve's face. I'm just gonna cut to that for a minute because I just want to record it. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to record it. It's just a freeze frame on the last shot. Just get the size of the face.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's good.
Because what I was thinking, Brent, is that it feels like there's three sections maybe. Like, obviously there's sections within those sections, but there's a section of playing with the space, a section of playing with props, and then a section of playing with a third person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it potentially feels like it ought to be in that order, but then kind of within those sections. Like, I think it's sort of more up for grabs, isn't it, as to how we kind of...
Yeah, totally. You could easily have 3 subsections in each of those sections, I think, and to give a really neat structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so there's like Cézanne person with face, and then a different person, like a whole different person, with the final 3 subsections, and then dealing card, pouring wine, moving the ball around.
Yep.
For the props, and then there's a kind of swapping chairs, sitting on the table and playing with depth for the first section. That's great. I think that's really strong.
And if you want me to move in and out of the scenes like that, the close-ups of the table, that sort of thing, I like even the knife on the hand game, the sort of the grabbing the hand, slapping hand games, things like that were quite kind of fun. They work quite well. Just a short bit of that could be quite interesting. Just if they were all put together, there's an awful lot of material there.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's going to be hectic.
Yeah. Well, there's at least 5 minutes for each section.
Absolutely,
probably,
yeah.
And so, you got a 15-20 minute.
Yeah.
Improv.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe like 10 minutes of feedback at the end.
Yeah.
That's a really good place to
feels like that's it.
to leave ourselves, I think. So the next week, when we approach, if we've got a map for how we want to work it, I think it'll become clear where those kind of close-up detailed work might need to be done, and that could be different for each section, couldn't it? Perhaps less for the first one, section A, but definitely for section B, with all that detailed prop work. And then in the last section, you kind of want to close up on the third person, wouldn't you? Really, perhaps.
Yeah, I wonder about that. Yeah,
you can do that.
Just to prove that they're there. I think that would be tricky to kind of know without doing it with a person, wouldn't it? I mean, if Steve doesn't mind being a student or Lucy or something in one of the sessions next week, we just play for half an hour and see what's like how just what people do. I've no idea what an audience member will do.
Let's just try and bring them in a different ways. So it could be Steve. It could be. I think Steve would be a good one to bring in if he's available. The only thing is that we're doing it. I think he's not available next week because it's in the evening, and it's very early hours of the morning for him in Singapore. So he won't be there next week. So it may have to be Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy, or I'm sure we can ask the rec company. I mean,
for somebody else.
Yeah.
They just need to come in on a call. That's all. And maybe if they do happen to have a bit of a green screen behind them, that's helpful. But if not, then not. But we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
What do you think? Could you maybe get some of those notes to me, sort of I don't know, just a rough notes as soon as you can. I can then work on just prepare the scenes for next week for when we meet on 6 o'clock on Thursday.
Yeah, perhaps we could do a little exchange, Giles. Sorry, I've just got a delivery thing.
No worries.
Yes, I think Brett and I can have a chat at some point.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be really good.
Tomorrow, possibly, and come up with. Yeah, as I say, it's just like a kind of one page worth.
Yeah, just a few little scenes, just so I'm prepared, so I can take you through it without having to sort of like say, do this scene, do that scene, that sort of thing. Just so it gives a bit more. We're not expecting anything completely polished and finished at all. It's just nice to sort of feel as though there's something small accomplished from it. But that'd be great.
Absolutely, and it feels to me like there's that thing of. Like, as it's an experimental piece, if we're running a section that doesn't work, we'll just start doing it again.
Yeah.
It's more about proving that we can do it than about performing it, as it were. If you know what I mean. Like, I'm out tomorrow afternoon, Graham. Otherwise, I've got most of this weekend. I appreciate you're on holiday, but I can do this afternoon and I can do tomorrow morning.
What day are we on? Is it
Friday today? So we're about to go into the weekend.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah, I was just going to do a little bit of filming for Andy this afternoon, but equally, perhaps if we could tomorrow morning, quick catch up.
Yeah. We say it like what's good for you, Graham, time-wise?
10:30, something like that.
Right. Amazing. I'll send you a Zoom link and we'll just sit on Zoom and have a work through it and write a document for half an hour.
Yeah, that
doesn't need to be very much. If you could get it to me tomorrow, then just a rough, just a sort of rough storyboard. I can then just put these scenes together for you, and we'll have a bit more to work with.
Yeah. Amazing.
And if you think of any props you might need beforehand, maybe the cards have turned up, and if there's other little objects you want to play with, particularly things that are not green or blue or silver, or blue's all right, fine, but green or anything that reflects the green is the thing. Glass is a bit more tricky, but yeah, great. Look, okay. I'll bring myself in here to say cheerio, goodbye. There you are. I'm there as well. So the person in the back, air traffic control at the back there. There you are. Okay. Great.
It's been so much fun. Really.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
It's been great fun.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed working with you. Yeah.
I think, just from a personal thing, since we've started doing digital theatre, I've always kind of thought that kind of kitchen sink drama with small casts would just not work because it's not big enough for you to kind of communicate stuff over digital theatre. But actually, the feeling of real space and actually confinement that bizarrely this gives you, I think opens up a whole raft of drama that I never thought would work digitally. I think it's really, really exciting.
Yes, yeah, that's great. Yeah, that sense of space and.
For me, what's really liberating about this, I think, is that acknowledgement of the form and the playfulness of the form, because I think there's loads of potential in that. As audiences become more sophisticated for digital theatre, their expectations become greater, and so it's what's really interesting is to really find a kind of tangible kind of connection with the playfulness of the form, and I find that really liberating.
We might want to quote you on that one. That's great. We're looking for some. We're just doing our website. We're looking for some little snappy comment. They're both things you both said are really helpful, and I might get back to you and say, look, that was really lovely what you said there. That really captured what we're trying to do. So I might like to, brilliant.
I feel like when you do when you do the debrief, just record it.
Sure.
Something that's more around us.
Yeah. Great. Will do. Brilliant. Okay. Well, I've got to run to another meeting as well now, so it's a pretty mad day. But anyway, have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next week on Thursday at 6, and you'll email me over the weekend with the little draft script of what you want to work with.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be in touch with Giles, but otherwise, see you tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
All right. I'll let you just switch off and leave.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Okay.
you both.
Have a good weekend. Lovely. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Cheers, Brad.